Welcome to another episode of Birdgang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Birdgang 31. I got my guy, my Leo brother back in the house, Joe Castro. How you doing, my guy?
What's good, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on, bro. It's,
Man,
it's
thank
good to
you
be
for
back.
thanks for coming on again, man. I know we both got a schedule today. I'm glad we was able to squeeze this in there. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
All right, well, let's jump straight into it. What do you think today about Richard Sherman? Because that was one of the guys I wanted us to pick up, maybe on the cheap, to help out with that CB2 spot.
Honestly, it's the weirdest situation. This offseason has been really weird, but like for a man that's made as much money as him, it's like, what are you going on? Like, I think it was burglary or something like that, or a hit and run or something like that. It's like you have all this money and you make dumb decisions. I hope that it X's him out of the conversation. I hope that, Howie's like, all right, well, we're not going to go get him now. Maybe he goes to the Cowboys now. Maybe he's more of their speed. But, I hate to say speed, no pun intended with a hit and run. But,
Right.
Maybe I feel like now he's just going to have to take whatever type of contract comes his way. If a contract comes his way, I mean, you're older, you're kind of, I don't want to say you have no type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not like you can't move everywhere. You can move certain spots, but you're very limited. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of limited to the cover two scheme, to not, to one side of the field. Mm-hmm. So you add that, and then you add that to, a domestic violence or a burglary charge. I think it's like a couple of different charges that it was.
That's what I was saying. I was hoping you got more intel on that one, because I
didn't. It was like from what I saw, like I said, I saw a couple different things. Because at first I saw it was just a burglary, and then I saw that there was domestic involved. And then I saw a hit and run. So, I mean, you probably know as much as I do at this point. Like I'm sure the story will settle down at some point. But right now, it just looks crazy. I don't see him being on a team next year, to be honest. I think that he kind of ruined any value he might have. So
I think he might be done. If this is all true, I can't see another team picking him up, because he was already on like the end of his career, considering his, he got limitations on speed. He's not staying up with all the fast receivers. He had a decent season last year. Not going to hate on him. He did good. But like, this is a huge deal, like in terms of like trying to get another contract. You're your own agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to talk yourself, to hype up yourself? Yeah, I know I was convicted, but I'm a changed man. I've been a
seriously. Yeah, it's like playing your own lawyer in the court. Like, yeah, I didn't even think of that. I forgot he was his own agent. I mean, yeah, he's done, man. There's no way really around saying, like, you made a really bad mistake. And like you said, it probably will be the end of his career, because it's not like people were fighting over him prior to this, right? Like, nobody was going crazy over Richard Sherman. Steve Nelson was probably getting more headlines than Richard Sherman. So, I mean, he put himself in this bed, now he's got to lie in it, right?
Definitely gonna have to lie in that bed, man. I'm sorry. Hey, Sherman, you was good when you were. I thought we might have had a chance of getting you, but I guess that is done.
The ultimate, that whole Legion of Boom just like went out so bad. Like Earl Thomas, I guess, is still like pretty relevant. He's still decent, I guess.
What team is he on?
I forget what team he's. I think he's on the Ravens. Yeah, I think he's on the Ravens. Mm-hmm. He hasn't done amazing there. I mean, their defense hasn't been the best, but at least he's like decent, right? He's not horrible. But outside of him and like Bobby Wagner, who really like, like that whole Legion of Boom is gone. It's sad. That was a fun team to watch.
Yes, it was, man. I wasn't even a Seahawks fan, but I love watching Cam. I met that guy downtown Hollywood one time. He has like a brother that's just as big as he is, man. Like, it's crazy. I was at this Hollywood bar, and like he was like, "Hey, man," my brother said, "What's up?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like, I was like, "I tell him I said what's up," tight. But I thought it was him at first. He's like, "No, that's my brother right over there." And it was like his brother, man. They're the same size and everything, man. I was like, "You play ball too?" Because I ain't heard of you.
He's like, let me get your autograph too, just in case. Why not?
Okay, let me get both y'all niggas side by side.
Right? That's dope, man. That's dope.
So what about today? What else today? Today we had what was that other big story today? Oh, the Deshaun Watson thing. Talking about the Eagles and Deshaun, yeah. I think that's kind of overplayed, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just trying to hype up Deshaun Watson, get him a job. Because that's another one, If he doesn't get off this, He might
Yeah,
not.
if that he's not proven not guilty. I think
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's just a story. Like I really don't see him come to the Eagles. I mean, at least not in the way that they're saying. Like they're kind of making it seem like the day that he gets exonerated or whatever the hell you want to say it is,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna just go drop everything and go grab him. I don't think that's the case. I think that they're gonna at least give I was gonna say Donovan, Jalen Hurts this year, and I think that's the smartest thing to do because no matter what, whether you're good this year or you're trash this year, your picks are gonna either maintain their value or go up in value. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're bad this year, we're gonna have even better picks. You know what I'm saying? So it'll
Yeah.
probably take even less to get Deshaun Watson because they're higher picks. But if we're good this year, that probably means we don't need Deshaun Watson, right? So it's like
Right.
it's a win-win situation in my opinion if you wait it out with him and see what kind of happens. And if we don't get Deshaun Watson, I'm not losing any sleep. Like
Right.
we've picked good quarterbacks in the draft, which I think is something a lot of people like lose sight of. I know that the Carson Wentz ordeal was tough, but at the end of the day, he was a good pick. Like picking him at number 2 was the best decision at that time. It just didn't work out everything else. So it is what it is. But you look at him, you look at Jalen Hurts. We'll see if he's good. That's a higher pick. You look
Oh
at
yeah.
the last pick that we got that high, I think was Donovan McNabb. Obviously, we saw how he worked out.
Right.
If you look at how we draft early on, we don't miss and we don't do it often. You know what I'm saying? I know we all talk a lot about the quarterback factory and we
Yeah.
get mad because Howie loves to draft quarterbacks, but he doesn't do it early. And when he does, I feel like he's gotten the benefit of the doubt for me because he does well. We pick up good players.
Yes.
So I mean, if it comes down to it next year that we figure out, hey, this kid Jalen just isn't what we need right now, I feel confident in drafting a quarterback. I feel confident that if they see somebody that they really like, that they'll go out there and get him and he'll work out. I don't
You
think
know who
they'll
I
miss on a
want, baby?
quarterback.
USC Slovis. Slovis.
Oh, Keaton. What's his name? Kendon or Keaton? What's his
Yeah,
first name?
Slovis. I know his last name Slovis. Goddamn
Yeah,
it. I
he's
watched
got
him
some
play
legs
last
on him
year.
too.
Slovis
That
did
boy
good
got some
last year.
legs.
Yeah, he did good. No, I didn't even hear that. That it was the call was from his wife.
Oh
That's
damn!
crazy. And he said it's kind of disturbing. Huh, I'm
I
gonna
don't
check that.
understand.
I'm gonna check that out because I did not know his wife called. I'm gonna have to check and see what's up with that one.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what you have all this money, you have everything going for you. What is the reason you would ever do that? What is the reason you would ever have to go through that? Right? Hold on, just
Right?
1 second. Hold on, just 1 second. My bad,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. It said it was a report he was on his way to his family's home before he hit the guardrail, left the scene, and walked the rest of the way. And that's because the cop called, but he didn't put his hands on one. Oh, that's good. If he didn't really hit nobody, then what's the whole domestic
Yeah.
violence
See, so
part?
I'm confused because they were
Yeah,
talking about he had like a what's it called, burglary, like.
yeah. Like what you stealing? You a millionaire? What is you stealing? That's kind of like when OJ, OJ was stealing his
Right, yeah, we
memorabilia.
should have saw him riding off in a Bronco. We should have saw him riding off in a white Bronco. That would have made it even better. I mean, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Like to go back kind of on the Adam Schefter thing. This whole off season has been a bunch of honestly hoopla is the best way I could put it because it's just a bunch of nonsense. Everybody has an inside source apparently. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't believe anything I hear.
Right, right. So you just gotta wait and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that he's not hitting somebody, and someone saying he's hitting somebody. The story is all mixed up. At the end of the day, whatever happens will come out. And we'll find out from there.
Exactly.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love for y'all joining today. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Birdgang Nation Sports Talk. We love you. So what else we gonna talk about today? I had something else we were gonna talk about today too. Uh, was it no Dan Orlowski, the Dan Orlowski thing today? Did you see that where Dan Orlowski
um,
started talking about Devontae Smith and all that stuff, man? That
Dan
that
Orlovsky just wants friends. That's really what it is. He,
right?
he just wants to have friends because he's
But
weird.
he's a weird guy, man. Like you can talk good about Devontae, but you're gonna hate on Jalen when it's your chance to say something positive about Jalen. You switch it over to the other guy to talk, man. Get
And
off
that's my thing. Like,
Carson's dick.
I just don't understand what the point of talking about us so much is. Like, we're not supposed to be good next year. I could get if we were having, I don't know. I could get if like we had a bunch of players on this roster that you're like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I could get if Jalen Hurts was a first round pick this year.
Mm-hmm.
I could even get if he was a second round pick this year going in to be our starter. But none of that is true. Like everybody knows we're probably not going to be the greatest of teams. We have to prove ourselves.
Y'all
right?
know that.
So,
we're going 12-5.
I won't say that we know we're not going to be great, but we still have to prove ourselves. And I think everybody can admit that we don't have like a rap sheet of last year that we can go back and be like, oh, we're going to be amazing this year. There's no, we're not the Cowboys. We're not, we're not Cowboy fans where every year we just go off of, well, we should be amazing. Like we know that we have to go out there and ball out. But it seems like we are one of the top 5 teams that they talk about. Like they talk about us all the time. It makes no sense. Like there's so many cool storylines in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying? Like is Tua going to step up? That's a huge deal. What's going on in Indianapolis? What's going on out there? They lost a bunch of coaches. They got a new quarterback. Talk about them. Like they just talk about the Eagles 24/7 just because it's clickbait. That's really what it comes down to. And honestly, like I love Adam Schefter. Well, I like Adam Schefter and I like what he does. And, up until this offseason, he was probably the only person that he was like that guy that if he said something, I would be like, okay.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's definitely facts. Yeah, but lately, especially this year, this is probably the second thing that he said that I'm just kind of like, all right, well, where's your base of like, where like you have zero source for that? Like, shout out to WIP. I've done some work with some of their guys. I'm good friends with some of their guys, but I don't know who dropped that little, I'm not going to say no names, but some people don't think that these guys are like, bro, go somewhere with all that. Like, it's just consistently, it feels like lying at this point. Cause even, Lane Johnson came out, Miles Sanders came out and both were like, yo, the media just be saying whatever. Like, and it's true. It's like
Fletcher too,
our media. Yeah, it's like our media is just talking out their butt now. Like it's like, bro, even if somebody did say that, the only reason you would put that out is to get clicks. That's the only reason, because there was literally nothing attached to that. There was no article. There was no show or anything. Right. It was literally just a tweet. It was just a tweet to get attention. So I like Adam Schefter. Do I trust what he's saying this year? Unfortunately, probably not. So I really don't think that we're out here actively looking for a quarterback. So I wouldn't get too hyped with that. And then Orlovsky, he's just another one. He's a nobody. Realistically, outside of him being on TV, who the hell is he? I know him because of UConn. If you look him up on his NFL stats, you're gonna know that he's a 0-16 quarterback. And he runs out of the back of the end zone. So like, who's looking up to him? Is Jalen Hurts like, oh, I really one day want to be like Dan Orlovsky? No. Nobody give a damn about Dan Orlovsky.
Garbage quarterbacks trying to just talk garbage now to their casters. You know what I'm saying? Chris Sims sucked as a quarterback. Dan sucked as a quarterback. Exactly. And now they just like, why would you even think they even know to have the slightest idea of what it takes to be a good quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Like those guys are horrible.
Absolutely. Yeah, go be a coach. If you think you know what you're talking about, go be a coach. Because and it's just, I understand how media works to a certain extent. You have to get clicks. That's what your job is. You know what I'm saying? Your job is to get people to your news source. But man, the way they doing it, they just looking bad. They making Philly look bad. Like, because I think a lot of people are on the same fence that I am with Jalen Hurts, as that you just got to kind of see what he's going to be. And, we are where we are and hope for the best with him. But I don't think there's a lot of people left that are like, oh, I can't believe he's our quarterback. This is going to suck. He's going to be the worst quarterback ever. I'm sure that there's some people like that, but like the media makes it seem like everybody in Philadelphia hates Jalen Hurts when, in my opinion, this is the exact opposite. To be honest, we're falling in love with that dude. Like every video we see, every interview he does, like we're finding out more of him, and we're falling in love with the dude. So I don't know. I'm getting tired of the media, if I'm being 100%, but we'll see.
Do you think they did say any of that stuff in the locker room? There might be like maybe the third stream, or like maybe that was J-Jaw that said that about Nick Sirianni.
My thing is, when are they going to say that? My thing is, when are they going to say that? When are you in the, like, real talk, when have you been in the locker room that they're going to be talking to you that much. Like we've been in the locker room for what, like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. You really got that inside information in 2 or 3 weeks? Like they was really that worried about telling you that they don't believe in Jalen Hurts in the locker room when it's training camp with a new coach, with all these people getting fired. You think that anyone on that team really feels that safe to be like, yeah, no, we don't really like Jalen Hurts? Yeah. That's not going to come up. That's just not a conversation that's going to happen.
Not
it
before
just
the
doesn't make sense.
Roster, cuz that's for sure.
Yeah, like you must really not care about your job. Yeah, maybe it was Jamon or what's his name? Not Jamon. Maybe it was Trayvon Grimes, and maybe that's why he got cut twice. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
But there's no way, in my opinion, that conversation happens. There's just no way. If you're going into a new environment where you like, there's not one player on this team that I'm like, like if Alshon was still on this team, if D-Jax was still on this team, I would be like, maybe they just, the vets Alshon don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see Alshon saying some funny shit, or even Malcolm. I can see somebody like a vet that's very boisterous say some dumb shit like that, but like we don't have nobody on that team like that. Outside of Lane Johnson and our offensive line, they've been raving about him. So it doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? It just does not add up.
What do you think about all the boys powerlifting at Lane Johnson's house, man?
Yeah, you saw Jalen Hurts, man, 620, I think it was.
Ooh, Hurts putting it on him, fool. He's putting it on.
Yeah, he said, he said, I got that top 40 list right here for you, Chris. I got that top 40 right here.
Check this out. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you gotta like. That's what you gotta love to see, because Jalen Hurts is gonna be energy. Like, we know what he is good at as far as like as far as he can run around. He has a decent arm. That we know what he can do physically for the most part, and obviously we want to see more. But we need him to be emotionally the leader. We need him to be that energy guy. So that's big for him to be already with these guys, and he's worked out with like almost every wide receiver. Carson Wentz wasn't.
Carson Wentz wasn't. Time you've seen so much, shown activity. He's with everybody. It's not like he's with them separately. He's with them in groups. He's with them everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He's hungry, man. He's ready to do it. Like, yeah, we will be good to this year. We will be good this year. We will practice. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like Harris even said last year, he was on the side, like after the practices, him and Quez would be out there running routes doing it because he was the backup back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's been doing it. We just didn't see too much of it last year because it was Carson's show still. But he's been doing it, man. He's been grinding hard, man. Jalen's sleeper MVP this year. Like I say, my boy gonna do it this year. But,
if we're decent, if we make the playoffs, it's gonna be big on him. Like it's gonna be a lot. A lot of this is riding on him. Yeah. I don't think we have a good enough team that he needs to just be a game manager. He's gonna have to go out there and put points up. So, if we have a good team, who knows? Maybe he could.
Let's do some bold predictions. Give me 2 or 3 bold predictions for the Eagles this year.
I'll say one is, I think Miles Sanders makes the Pro Bowl. I think he has over 1,200 yards rushing just on the ground. So I'll say Pro Bowl year for him. And then I'll also say, like, defensively, I think defensively we'll end up in like the top 10 in interceptions this year.
Ooh, those are nice ones, baby. I like both of those.
I think if the way that Gannon's scheme is very like dependent on ball hawk, is dependent on players knowing where the ball is on the field. So I think that we won't be turned around with our backs to the ball like we were when Jim Schwartz was out there. So it should allow for more interceptions and turnovers. So I think that we could end up top 10. And I think we got some ball hawks on our team, to be real.
Oh, yeah, man. Harris, what he had? 8 interceptions here 2 years ago.
Yep. You got Slay. I mean, Slay only had 1 last year, but I think it's time for him to get back in it.
Dude, I watched the interview on Slay. He's talking about he got his number changed back to his old school number he never got a chance to wear. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a number guy myself, man. When I'm wearing the number 31 on that field, you're gonna see some magic happen, So, freaking Slay, I think he's on path at least on my Madden. At least every game I get to pick with Slay. So I'm looking
Yeah,
for that
facts,
to
right?
translate to the field this year. And big play Slay give me like 4 picks, 5 picks, early in the season. I say a total, that'll be my bold prediction. Slay gets 8 picks this year. There it is. I'm
Ooh.
throwing it out there. Slay,
Yeah,
if
I'll
you
take
hear me,
that.
my dog, 8 picks this year.
We need it. We need it.
My other bold prediction, Jalen Hurts, MVP candidate this year. I'm saying that. And my third one is we're the #1 defense in the NFL this year. Because everybody
I
doubt
hope
us.
so.
Everybody doubt us because that second CB and our young linebackers, whatever. But we got a core up front, that can make all that happen. It starts on the trenches on both sides, and both sides we looking good. So those are my 3 bold predictions there. I like that one. We are the #1 rushing team in the NFL. Good one, Nikki. I like that one. That's
I wouldn't be surprised. We have 3 good running backs, like real talk. Like, I mean, and it depends on who you want to put there too. We got probably like 4 or 5 good running backs if I'm being real, if they're all healthy. So there's no reason why we can't be.
It's like, how many are you going to keep? Somebody's going to be the out man out. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I was watching something that was like, yeah, they had Howard over Boston Scott, and I'm thinking, you know what? If you got Kerryon and Howard, those are your 2 big backs, and then you got Miles and Gainwell. I can see that being 2 and 2, and that does make more sense. Why have 3? Scat backs and then 1 power back when you can go 2 and 2 into the season, and that makes more sense. I was always, putting Boston Scott ahead of them, but then I was thinking, that does make a lot more sense though to have Howard. Hey.
Yeah, I think it's all about versatility. It's all about what you can give us. Because I mean, even a guy like Jason Huntley has a possible spot on this roster just because he can play special teams and he can play it at a high level. So if you're keeping 4, if you're keeping, even 5 running backs, which I doubt, but if you're keeping 4 or 5, those last 2 are probably going to be your special teams guys. They're probably going to, maybe Quez Watkins ends up being your punt returner or kick returner, but like, if not, I'd rather have somebody like Huntley or Gainwell that can, or
Killins.
Maybe. I'm not that big on Killins. I've never seen anything from Killins. I don't know why everybody loves Killins. Killins is fast. That's about it. Killins has done literally nothing.
He reminds
me. And I love he's cool and everything, but he hasn't done anything. So I don't really know what the like. Same kind of thing with Gainwell. If we're being honest, like Gainwell really hasn't done nothing. Gainwell has done nothing. He played in Memphis. Like, I mean, we got to be honest about these players. Like, as Eagles fans, a lot of time I feel like we get the Paul Turner effect. We see somebody that's having that has talent, and it's we get a little enamored.
At small schools, like what was that other running back we had drafted that ended up turning out to be garbage? He played for San Diego State, and I think he's actually on
Donnell Pumphrey. Yeah, everybody loved Pump. That's what I'm saying. We gotta see what happens because it's just. We get too hyped for people a little bit. And I like Kenneth Gainwell and I hope that he turns out good, but we don't know what he is yet. And honestly, even in he had like one crazy game where I think he like ran for over 200 yards, caught for over 100 or something like that. So that's cool. Hopefully he can do that for 17 games, but I doubt he can. So it'll be interesting to see what his role would be on this team. We'll see. I hope that he's good.
I look at Gainwell's like I think he's gonna make such an impact where we're gonna be, hearing a lot of how good he is just for the simple fact he's not gonna get as many touches. He was the #1 guy at Memphis, so he always got the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's what got all his hype. But here, Miles is gonna be the bell cow. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be running that rock all the time. He's gonna be in there in some pass catching, situations. So and then you got Kerryon. I think Kerryon might beat out Howard and all those other guys for second spot. So he's gonna get some carries there. So, Gainwell doesn't have to do that much, but I think when we see it, it's going to be splash plays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like 15 yards here, 20 yards there, 15, maybe a long touchdown here. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like.
He's going to have to, like I said, he's going to really have to make his name on special teams. Because, he long live Paul Turner. We love the underdogs. And it's dope. That's how it should be. You should give love to the underdogs. But, like, I don't know. We give a little bit like I said, Killins has done literally nothing. Killins has been on this team for a full year and did nothing at all. So I don't really know why everybody's so high on him. I like Killins. I mean, I like Gainwell's talent wise. Like I think he could be a good slot guy, somebody you push out, to the slot. But I don't know if he's gonna be ready for the NFL. Like
Like I see
I
him
don't
being
know.
more of that motion guy. You always motioning out of the backfield to the slot. Then
Exactly, yeah.
you think you're in 11, but then he motions out. Now you got doubles on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Doing the big things there. Yeah, that's how I think it is. Like you can do so much with these gadget type players, though. You know what I'm saying? Like he can keep them back there, run an option with him and Sanders. Who's gonna get the ball, which one, and he's fast too. So that always helps.
Yeah.
I think that's what I really love about our team this year. We have a lot of speed, man. Like fast guys. I don't know too many defenses that are going to be able to keep up with the speed we got.
Yeah, facts. And it should be fun, and it'll be interesting to see how the wide receiver position shakes up. Like if we're gonna end up going with pure speed, or if we're gonna try and recreate the 2017 type thing where you have that over the top guy, you got a big guy, and then you got your slot kind of twitchy Nelson Aguilar type guy. So it'll be interesting to see what we do, but yeah, I hope that we're a fast team. At least be fun to watch. If we're not gonna be great, at least be fun.
Which one would you do? Would you go with the Fulgham on the outside, or would you go ahead and put the Quez on the outside for the speed? The big body or the speedster?
It depends on who's more consistent. I mean, if Fulgham's out there making plays, if he's out there, getting open, then you put out Fulgham. If the opposite is true, you put out Quez. Like I said,
both catching the ball.
If they're, then you rotate. you gotta play. You gotta play the hot player. I'm not big on I don't really care about like the setup. I think that's just what they do for some reason. Like they like to get that Alshon Jeffrey, then they get that because we even did it with Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson. Then you got your spot guy. Like we've always kind of done that. So I think that they would do it with Fulgham. They would probably try and force Fulgham out there. So you have that type of scenario, but it also could change. Nick Sirianni might just say, "Nah, I want whoever's going to run the best slant. I want whoever's going to run the best, whatever it may be." So I just hope that they
all three positions. Goddamn
it. Exactly.
Because man, I think Devontae, man, he's gonna light up some cornerbacks this year. Maybe
Definitely.
it's some of the top ones who might contain them. But all these other cornerbacks in the league, you got to think, how many top corners are there really in the league? You know what I'm saying? Like top guys. You got Ramsey, you got Howard, you got Humphreys. Is that his name? Humphrey from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Marlon Humphreys. And then, in terms of elite, like who else you really got after that?
I mean, San Diego got I forget what his name is. They got a decent cornerback. There's a couple teams that got good cornerbacks. The big thing with him, the biggest thing for Devontae Smith is whoever's across from him. If whoever's across from him is a non-factor, you're kind of hit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't get any type of production from your wide receiver too, Devontae Smith's going to be locked up. It might sound, it sucks, but it's the truth. It is what it is. No matter how good a wide receiver is, if nobody's helping him, he's just going to draw all the coverage, and it's going to be very tough to get him the ball. So the biggest thing for Devontae Smith is going to be for the Eagles to find other weapons. So they're going to have to spread the ball around and get Devontae Smith open. It's not going to just happen. So I feel confident that if he is given a shot to ball out, he will. But we got to give him that shot.
I feel like we should go into it, distributing the ball to all of them. You know what I'm saying? The running backs, the receivers, because they're all young and fast. So go give them all the opportunity. But then if they don't produce, we seen it with Alabama last year when Waddle got hurt. Just give it to Dante. Give it to Dante. He's gonna get open. Man. So
facts. Yeah. We have to just play the best offense we can. We got to learn what we have. That's my biggest thing. Like it might not be the most, the prettiest season, but I need to know what we are, good or bad. I need to know, for better or worse, what do we have? Do we have a quarterback? Do we have wide receivers? Do we have this, that, and the third? That's all I need to know this year. If we're good while we find out, then hey, even better.
Give me your top 5 teams in the NFL right now.
I mean, I guess KC and Tampa Bay are easy to put up there.
1, 2.
I'd probably put the Bills next.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, more like Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs and that defense. That Stephon Diggs and that defense, ridiculous.
This is beast.
Number 4. I don't really have to think about 4 and 5.
Sorry, if you gotta think this hard, then I know 5 gonna be Philly.
No, I'm trying to think who would be 4 or 5. That's a good question. I haven't really thought about 4 and 5.
What about the Chargers?
Maybe I guess I would say the Ravens. Then who I would have put 5 is maybe Titans. Titans got a really nasty team.
Yes, man. We were talking about that the other day. Titans, man.
So maybe I'll throw Titans up there.
Over there with Brown and goddamn number 1 back in the league, Derrick Henry. Like, do you agree too? Like I was saying, we were talking with JC, and we're like, Derrick Henry's up here. You know, everybody else in the league and running back is kind of right here. All of them. Like that's a gap. You know, because that boy's a beast. You know, did you see his lifting video where he had like 1,000 pounds? Like,
nah, he's crazy.
Squatting like 1,000, like nonstop. Like, are you human?
And he doesn't get hurt. That's what's crazy.
Ever. And he's fast as lightning. You know, he's doing all these 200-yard games back to back to back. You know, people scared to hit him. You know, everybody, I don't want nothing, Derrick. No, I'm good. Keep that nigga that way.
I wouldn't tackle that boy. I would throw somebody at him.
If I had the tackle, I'm going straight to the knees. You know,
exactly.
Down. It might even hurt though. It might hurt. He's one of those big guys where he just keep running you over. Thank you.
You got to just bridge him. You got to just like get down, bridge him real quick.
And he jumps over people too, though. Yeah, he can jump over you too. So yeah, give me your top backs now. Give me your top backs.
Top 5.
Yeah, that's cool. 5. Let's go 5.
I would say number 1 is. It's hard to really rank them in order because it's like you start thinking of just who you like.
Yeah, it's not.
But I mean, 5 guys with no order. I would say Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook. I'm gonna say Saquon because maybe it's Penn State bias. It is what it is. Saquon is a different type of player. Saquon is like the most athletic person I've ever seen.
1 year.
He hasn't. Yeah, if you didn't watch him in Penn State, that's fine. But if you watched him in Penn State, that boy is something different. And listen, he was great with the Giants, and he got hurt. It is what it is, but he didn't get hurt when he was in Penn State. So, if he comes back this year, which I fully expect him to, and even last year, even the year before, he was playing hurt and still put up damn near 1,000 yards. Or I think he did put up 1,000 yards. So I think Saquon is mad underrated. I think people sleeping on him. But so those 3 or 4, right? Yeah, 4 so far. And then number 5. I'd say Lamar Jackson. No, I'm just kidding.
Lamar Jackson, yeah. Right. He's a running back too. Low key.
That's I think that Jonathan Taylor by season's end might be up there. There's a couple people I think might be up there by season's end, but right now I'll say Alvin Kamara because Alvin Kamara got that whole team on his back right now because they ain't got no quarterback. So I think he's going to be running the ball a lot. So I'll just say him for now.
What about the rookie running back that's going to make the most damage?
I'll say Travis Etienne for the Jaguars just because he's with his boy and they've been working him out a lot at wide receiver. So I think he's going to be that guy that they just move everywhere. They're going to use him in any type of possible way that they can.
They need all the help they can get
out of him. Yeah, exactly. They don't have many players. And they already have James Robinson. So I feel like if they're putting this much work to use Travis Etienne, then they're going to probably put work in with him as a wide receiver. So I think that ups his value. And James Robinson broke records last year as an undrafted free agent. So
he did good.
I think that they have something there in that running game. But James Robinson isn't a pass catcher like that. He can, but he's more of just a runner. He's more of just like your bruising runner. So I think that combination will work really well. So I'll say Travis Etienne right now. Maybe Najee Harris.
I'm going
over. Yeah, he's going over there. The Steelers.
Najee reminds me of a baby Henry. When I watched him play here in Alabama last year, Najee did all that. He's strong. He can catch. He's fast. He's very agile. He can juke your ass, you know what I'm saying, and take off down the sideline. Najee was a beast down here, man. Like he put in some
Najee
work.
also had like an all-world offensive line. So
the Steelers
don't have that no more. They lost Andre Villanueva. I think they lost one of their guards. So I mean, I don't know what they're gonna have. Say again?
Didn't
Pouncey? Yeah, that's what it was. Not their guard. Pouncey retired. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we'll see.
But they got not getting any younger, so that can help take some pressure. He won't have to do as much because
hopefully,
you got Claiborne, Juju, and what the other dude name was. What was the other good receiver? Was his name Brown too? I feel like everybody got a Brown on their team.
I don't know.
Hollywood Brown. All these guys named Brown.
We need to get a Brown. That's what we need.
Right? Let's see. Washington team was awesome. Okay. If you say so.
They're only good when the whole division is trash. That's when they win their divisions.
Oh, he said next year Washington team is going to be awesome.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see about that one, man. Like I said, and I was listening to someone else talk about this, and they were like, remember the last game of the season they had to win, or whatever, to get to the playoffs, and like when Jalen went out, I feel like we were going to win that game. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely could have came back.
And that awesome defense that they're talking about, we were moving the ball on them. You know, so that's why I'm not really too scared about. I'm not that huge of Chase. And plus, Kerrigan had just as many sacks as Chase last year. You know, and he played like a third of the time or half the time that Chase did. So, you know, maybe Chase isn't this once in a lifetime generational talent, because we got Washington. You know, this year we gonna womp on those guys, unless Fitzmagic has a magical day. You know, he's his lucky.
I think we'll split with him just because of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's like such a 50-50 guy. Like that's what they are though. They're a quarterback away. If they can get a quarterback, it's a wrap.
What about that Heineken guy?
Oh yeah, what's his name? Something Heineken or something. Heineken. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he had like a couple decent games there. We'll see. I mean, they had some bad quarterback play, so I think they were a little bit jaded.
And then that running back, that running back they had, that was the guy that was in Memphis, right? With
Antonio Gibson. Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah, he did pretty good. Scary Terry,
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
I do like him. I like him, my family.
Even though I hate Ohio State.
Deshaun Watson rumors. Well, they're
not gonna.
We're not getting them. We're not getting Deshaun Watson. Everybody, just calm down. It's not happening.
Not this year, at least. Maybe next year. Maybe
if Hurts sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see a situation? Say Hurts does. He wins about 8 games. You know what I'm saying? He has like 3,000 yards passing, like 700 yards. Rushing, maybe like 20 touchdowns, but he has like 10 picks and 4 fumbles. Do you think the Eagles like, well, it was an all right season, but now we got a shot to get Deshaun Watson? Do you really think he's that much better than Hurts? Because I watched them both play in college, and I'm not,
I mean, if Hurts doesn't have a good year, we're going to have a decent year.
There's
he has to have a good year.
A normal
year. He has to have like, you have to see a very, I don't want to say immediate, but a very close like ceiling. Like the ceiling can't be too far away. Like you can't look at him and be like, oh, it's going to take me like 3 or 4 years to get him right. Because I don't know. I don't think that they're willing to wait that long. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. That's a really tough question to answer, to be honest, because we don't know what they're looking at. We really don't. I really don't know what his bar is.
Like, did Nick call the right plays?
There's so much stuff that works into it.
Our defense sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still so much of like, I hate the fact that they put all this pressure. They should just come out and be like, Hurts the next 2 years. You're good, you know what I'm saying? We're going to see what you did. Don't just look at it all into one pressured year for them, and that's what I feel like.
We just don't have the assets to do that, unfortunately. Like, we have the 3 first-round picks this year. So, unfortunately, kind of expedites it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have it right now. Maybe we can push it back and kind of do what Miami's doing, where they seem to have 3 first-round picks every year.
Right.
So maybe we can do something like that. But as of right now, we're kind of stuck where we are. So if everything stays how it is, I feel like they're gonna pull the trigger and use those picks to try and improve the quarterback position, because they've said time and time over again, that's the most important position, you know.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. If you're gonna spend that, no, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. If you're gonna spend it on somebody, get somebody young, get somebody that's gonna be able to grow with your team. Deshaun Watson is like basically getting a draft pick, like a 3-year-old draft pick. Like, I'm good with that. You know, like getting Aaron Rodgers, you think you're a great team right now.
Well, you would be a great team right now. Like,
I mean, you there's so much more to just quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, we don't have a window. We're not that good right now. You really think we're a quarterback away? You think we're a quarterback away?
I think we got that quarterback. To be my opinion, if we got him, I think
we're not. So you know, we can make the playoffs because our division's bad, but there's no way I'm going into the season thinking that we have a shot at being like a Super Bowl.
We made the playoffs. We have every chance, just like anybody else, to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, theoretically, but like we're not a good team.
If it came down to it, we could beat Tampa Bay. If it came down to it, I think it's possible. Tampa,
I mean, I like that. I like the. You got to stay positive, right? You got to stay optimistic, but like you got to be realistic too. We're not that good of a team. We're really not. We've gotten worse from last year.
What are your major downs on our team? Like what? Think about it.
Everything's a question right now
on both offensive and defensive line, which are the two main.
If they can stay healthy, and we don't know about our depth. We had 14
at the end of the year a little bit.
But listen, we have 14 different offensive lines last year. I feel confident a little bit in Herbig. I feel confident in Jack Driscoll. Jordan Mailata between Andre. I feel comfortable with Jordan Mailata as our depth. I don't know if I feel comfortable with Andre Dillard as our depth. The kid LaRaven Clark, maybe he'll be good, for us too. But our offensive line, we got some players. Our defensive line is the same exact thing as last year. We just added Ryan Kerrigan, so they might be good again. But we had 50-something. We had 50-something sacks last year. And our defense sucked. So we didn't improve our linebackers. We didn't really improve our cornerback situation.
We did. You don't think Wilson's an improvement?
Eric Wilson's a linebacker, and Eric Wilson's one player.
4 tackles last year.
And all right. The context in those numbers is that the Vikings had probably the worst secondary, probably worse than ours. So him and Anthony Harris were basically just tackling. They were tackling machines because nobody was stopping the receivers. The receivers were catching everything thrown their way. So that's why they had so many. I like Eric Wilson, but to say that he made that a better position, we still have a lot of.
Year.
Who?
Singleton.
He did not ball out, bro. He did not ball out. He led our team in tackles. That's cool, but he did not ball out. There's not one. Our team was terrible at the linebacking position. I have no confidence to sit here and put money on anybody on this team. I think that the cornerback situation is still a very big question. Linebacking room is a very big question. Health is a very big question. The quarterback position is a very big question. Wide receiver is a very big question. We still have a very big question at tight end because we don't know who our tight ends are going to be. Bro, we don't know who our tight ends are even going to be. Dallas Goedert, I think, is good. But
the rookie, I seen some of his highlights. He looks
Jack Stahl I love Jack Stahl. But we got to be realistic. Eagles fans, I'm talking to everybody, not just you, too, because I see this on Twitter all the time. We have to be realistic, man. Jack Stahl was an undrafted free agent. Jack Stahl had 20-something career catches in his college career. I like watching highlights, too, but we got to be realistic about these guys. Jack Stahl is not predicted to come in here and be a immediate starter or a great player. Okay. So there's a lot of questions on this team. So to just say we're one player around, we're not. Say that again?
We just re-signed him at tight end. Rodgers.
Rodgers is good. He's not a top 10 guy though. I like the players that we have, but we have a lot of questions on this team. I do not think that we can say that we're a championship competitors. I don't think we're close. I think we can win.
I'll put it like this: you don't think Hurts can be elite this year?
Maybe. I don't have any evidence that says he will. There's no reason for
elite.
There's no. that we can hope for all this. That's what I'm saying. Like we have no this, and this is the same thing I've said to Cowboy fans. You can sit here and be excited for your team, but realistically, last year all of our teams sucked. Like so, it doesn't make sense. And we can blame our coaching staff. We can blame Carson. We can blame this. We can blame that. At the end of the day, the players that were on the field did not do their job. That's what it comes down to. That's the coaches don't play. It is what it is. They do their job, and the players are supposed to do theirs. We have a lot of rookies that we don't know what they're going to be. We have a lot of players in general that we don't know what they're going to be. So I'm just not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, if this one player does great, we're going to be a Super Bowl team. I just don't see it. We have to go out there and play and just improve. That's all I'm looking for. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up talking about Super Bowl because it's very unlikely.
But I just feel like improve is kind of like, okay, it's like just common sensely we should improve. There's no possible way at all with the talent on our roster we can win 4 games again. It's just not even.
How's that? How not? We lost talent. We don't know what Jalen Hurts is. That's the thing. Like, I feel like people watch highlights and say, oh, this dude's going to be disgusting because he's on our team. We don't know what any of these guys are going to be.
The man. Like, he doesn't know how to lose. If you follow his career throughout every game,
it's college, my guy. College is so much different. You're talking about Alabama, who has possibly like 10 or 15 different NFL players at any given time. Then you go to Oklahoma, who has the best coach in the country. Lincoln Riley is at the very least top 3 in the country, and he had CeeDee Lamb. He had a lot of great players on that team. So just as much as you can say that Jalen Hurts went out there and balled out, did his thing, he had a lot of help. There was a lot of good play, and we don't have any help around it. He didn't win anything last year.
He was with the B team last year, man.
So was Carson. Both of them sucked. It's not like Jalen Hurts went out there and balled out. Jalen Hurts showed us good and bad. Bro, come on. Look, at the end of the day, you're starting to sound kind of like a Dak fan that you're trying to do. Those numbers, let's look at the eye test. Just as good as he was in halftime, he was just as bad. He had just as bad as numbers. And that's what I'm saying. People got to be realistic about it because when you see all this, like, oh, we're this player away, we're that player away, we're not. We are a good amount of players away. It is, unless everybody surprises the heck out of us.
Okay.
That's really where I'm at. These players have to show their proof.
The reason why I do that with Jalen last year, I just look at it as like he came in cold, not really too much, anything last year against the number 1 defense in the NFL with the B team. And we beat them. You know what I'm saying? And then we came against a good Arizona team. And technically, if our defense would have stepped up, we would have beat them too. And then,
I mean, if you look at both of those games, though, Jalen really only played well for a half.
A half?
Yeah, for a half. So, like, against the Saints, he had one good the first half, and then they figured him out. And then against the Cardinals, he kind of came back towards the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he really only had 2 good halves.
And then Washington, before he got pulled, he started to come back. He scored that touchdown at the end of the half. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like you really shouldn't count that game because he didn't play the whole game. Like the only one to Dallas, and he did a couple good things in Dallas, I don't know. I feel like he's done enough for you should know that he's going to be a decent quarterback at least. Like as MVP, maybe not, but good enough to be a top quarterback in the league. I think he showed enough for me to think that he can be a top quarterback.
Hold on, give me a second.
Oh man, it made him sick. He's like, what do you guys think in the chat? You guys think Jalen Hurts can be a top 10 quarterback this year? Let me know. And while y'all doing that, hit that like. We need to get this out there. Hit that like, baby. The nation's growing. I think we up to 111, 112 subs. Moving good. At 200, I will be giving away a Dallas Goedert auto rookie. I'll be showing it on one of my videos here coming up. Got a lot of videos. I need to go through my card collection to find it again. But it's an awesome Dallas Goedert. I think it's out of 20 or something like that. It's an expensive card, But we'll be giving that out at 200. So go ahead and tell your friends, like and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell, guys. But no one's gonna say if they think Jalen could be top 10. You gonna leave me hanging out here? Come on now, somebody. Is Jalen Hurts top 10? No one wants to put it out there. All right. I see how it is. All good. But yeah, the Eagles are gonna do their thing this year. I think Jalen's gonna be top 10. I think Sanders is gonna be top 10. I think Miles is gonna be top 10. Yeah. I think he can do it too. You know, he's gonna do good. I think our D line's gonna have 60 sacks. You know, we're gonna be a turnover machine this year. Whole new team, whole new scheme. It's gonna be awesome. You know, but I understand why people are being level headed about their picks, but I can't. I'm an Eagles fan, baby, and we're gonna dominate this year. Low key Super Bowl champions. I won't go all the way there yet, but 12-5 record for sure. But we definitely gonna see what happens when the season starts. Unless something bad happens in training camp, something like that. You know, our team is usually getting hurt, so unless something bad happens in training camp, I think we're gonna be all right.
Oh my God, that boba tea. That's what it was.
Oh, some of that herbal tea.
Yeah, boba tea got to me, man. That's what it was.
Detox.
I feel like I'm dying. Yeah, I feel like I'm dying now.
Man.
Whew.
Well, we glad you didn't. You know, we glad
right? You guys got more of a show than you guys probably expected, you know?
But it's all good, man. Like I said, I got high expectations for this team. You know, realistic or not, you know, that's what we're here for. You know, for our birds, baby. And I
don't want to make it seem like I have no faith in this team. It's just some of the stuff I've been hearing is just like so outlandish. Like, not from you. I'm not saying from you. I'm saying from like all fans in general, especially in the NFC East. It's just like I think we all gotta chill. Like we all are bad. Like especially Cowboys fans, but like I don't want to sit here and rant, but you know, we were all bad. We got to see what these guys are going to be. And we can't place unfair expectations on some of these guys, like especially Jalen Hurts, because I think that the franchise is going to do that already. The front office is going to do that to him already. You know, they're probably, like I said, if he doesn't have a great year, if we don't see that next year he can be an all-pro guy or a great guy, I think they're going to go on and move on without him because it's just we have all the assets now. I can't remember the last time that we had more than one first-round pick. Right. So to have possibly 3, I think that next year is all in.
Yeah, I mean, we got this year started yet.
And I think next year is all in year because we have the money, we'll have the draft capital. It's kind of a reset. It's kind of hitting a reset. And if Jalen Hurts, unfortunately, if Jalen Hurts can't show I'm going to be a good guy to lead this reset, he has a very short leash. Maybe not this year. Like this year, I think he can literally damn near go 0-16 without getting pulled just because of the people behind him. Right. You know, and I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying that there's any chance he will, but there's just nobody behind him that, like, if you're 0-10, you're like, well, let's see what Joe Flacco got. Like, there's no reason to, right? Like, you know, or let's see what Nick Mullins maybe has. Like, there's nobody on this team that really says, you know, if you lose 5 games in a row, you're coming out. So
remember yesterday when I was with Liam Jenkins, and he was like, he talked to Flacco, and Flacco ready to start. You know,
yeah. Flacco, if Flacco starts, bro, that's the worst thing for this organization. Right. I'll tell you that right now. Like, if Flacco really beats Jalen Hurts for a job, get ready for a long time in Philly because that's not a good sign.
What happens if Flacco have to come in for like 4 games? Do you think we would go?
Then I think Jalen Hurts is done.
You think we'd go 4-0? You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I guess it depends on those games. but I do
If
not
Flacco
feel
had to go
confident.
against Tampa Bay, are we winning or losing?
We getting our ass whooped. We get smacked up. We get smacked. I do not have any confidence in Jalen Hurts Jalen Hurts in Joe Flacco as a starting quarterback. I don't have faith in Joe Flacco as a backup quarterback. So I mean, I'd rather see Nick Mullins.
Fine.
Yeah, I'd rather see Nick Mullins play. Like, I'd rather suck with like a 23-year-old that we or 26-year-old, whatever he is. Like,
what was his name?
I don't want to see old men out there suck right now. Like, that's not
Newman.
what I need.
We need to go back and get Newman back.
I was surprised about that. I was really surprised
shocked,
about that,
man.
Yeah.
And if you watch some of the highlights, he was like doing real good. He seemed like he was doing great.
The only thing I would say about him is because I've talked to some people like that, either knew him in college or played with him or interviewed him. And it was always what's good, Brandon? It was always his attitude. Like, if you even look at last year, he left Wake Forest, I want to say it was, to go to Georgia, I think it was that he was going to go to. I could be wrong about this. But I know he left one school to go to the other. Didn't even play. I want to say it was in Georgia. I could be wrong. But he didn't even play.
I thought it was the other way around. He left Georgia to go to Wake Forest.
Yeah, it was something like that. Something like that. But I know that he left his school, didn't even play in the new school. Like, he went to go against better competition. Someone apparently told him that because at a certain point, he was supposed to be a first-round quarterback. This was like not too long ago. This was 2 years ago. And then he sat the whole season out last year because someone gave him terrible advice saying that your value will stay at its height or at its peak next year. What's good, Mike?
What up?
And it didn't. It fell all the way off. You did not want to compete. Nobody wanted you around. So I don't know. Maybe he just came out and was thinking he was the ish. You know what I'm saying? And his ish didn't stink. He didn't have anything to learn, and
like Flacco kicked off.
Flacco, yeah, because I mean, real talk. What in your mind would say, I'd rather have Nick Mullins as my third guy than Jamie Newman? I don't know. Like, the only reason you would say that, in my opinion, is like you want a veteran presence or you just want somebody that's coachable. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Joe Flacco is your vet, so like your third guy is kind of like, I mean, Nick Mullins is basically an upgrade over what we had in what's Holmes' name? I already forgot his name. Yeah, Nate Studfield, the best quarterback of all time, according to Jeffrey Lurie and them. So, maybe it's just they want somebody that's coachable. I think that's been a theme with this organization. They want people that they can kind of get under their wing. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I like Nick Mullins
because I didn't even know nothing about that with Newman. But yeah, that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? He could have been in there because, like, from the highlights I seen, he looked like he was doing pretty good. And he seemed like a cocky guy too, though. He seemed like he's real cocky. So
that's what killed him in the draft is that he shouldn't have sat out. Yeah, Nate Tankfield, Tank Commander. That's my guy, bro.
The Tank.
He did what had to be done. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I think he sucked at every game he came in. Like
every game.
You remember
he was the up and coming new star? Like he's super.
Was it against the Cowboys? The last game in 2017 where we literally did not put up a point. Was it the Cowboys, Raiders? It was some team. I forget who it was. And Sudfeld came in and literally did not put up a point on a Super Bowl team. Like you literally. Literally. Yeah, I never understood that.
But now he's at San Francisco, and they're gonna see how garbage he really is, and he's not gonna play over there either.
They got the best out of Mullins.
If you were San Francisco, are you starting the Rook, or are you giving Jimmy G another chance?
If Jimmy Garoppolo is fully healthy, I think you have to start him because if there is any type of value there, you have to try and mine it out. You have to try and find it. But I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo starts that long. I think after 3 or 4 weeks, you see what you got in that rookie. You see what you got in Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to take a year to kind of really get used to the speed of the game and get his footing. But I'm a big fan of Trey Lance. I think he's going to be great.
Yeah. And I don't think Jimmy G, I think he was overhyped. He was in the Belichick system. That's why he won. He was undefeated over there. It wasn't because he's super talented guy. I don't see him throwing the ball very far, very deep ever. It's always those nice little slants or like little outs and stuff, little safe stuff. He's like a safe quarterback, like he's game manager. That's what I was looking for. Game manager. Jimmy G's a great game manager, but this league, you gotta be a star. You gotta have a star arm. You gotta get the ball down the field, push the ball down the field. And I don't think he's that guy.
And I think them not going with somebody like a Mac Jones says a lot about what they think about Jimmy Garoppolo, because Mac Jones to me was like a Jimmy Garoppolo light. Like he's accurate. He's very good in the pocket. He's got a little bit of, athleticism to him. They're very similar to me. Very, very similar. So to go get somebody like Trey Lance kind of tells me you're probably thinking of doing something totally different than you did last year. And not maybe totally different, but you're going to be that run game is going to be your bread and butter. Trey Lance is a very fast kid. Yeah. Trey Lance is a very big, fast kid, and he's very elusive, and he can throw on the run. So we saw a lot of I forget what his name is. Is it Deebo Samuels?
Deebo's a beast.
They have a lot of wide receiver end around stuff like that. A lot of different running techniques, running presses. So I think Trey Lance fits that so well. Trey Lance can win you games without having to throw the ball 30, 40 times. You know what I'm saying? He's good. So I think that it'll be interesting to see. I like the 49ers, and I think that they honestly have a very good team. So I think we can make them good. Huh?
We beating the Niners?
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to have Jimmy G starting. So, yeah, I think we'll be winning by then. We'll win that game. And honestly, I mean, it's all about health, man. That's my biggest worry. People always ask me, what are you scared or what's like your biggest doubt for this season? That's health. I just if we're healthy, I think that we have some good players, but there's nothing that tells me that we will be healthy. Like, we haven't been.
On that note, like we were talking about this, right? And they were saying maybe it was because Doug didn't like doing all that extra hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping that Doug's
Nick said we hitting. We putting the pads on, we hitting. We're going to the ground.
I'm hoping it was.
We hitting. Because, I don't know if you played ball, but when you play ball, you got those 2 days, during the summer. That's when you get all your little nicks and stuff out of the way during 2 days.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're banging each other's body, you're beating it up, so you're building a shield over it. You know what I'm saying? You're tenderizing the meat. You know what I'm saying? Getting it ready for a real season. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sitting there sitting on the sideline playing 2-hand touch, and then you go get into a regular game. Now you're getting hit by grown-ass men, and your ass on the sideline for the rest of the year.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. People gotta realize if we healthy, our defensive line is disgusting. We already know that, but our offensive line can win us games on their own. Like between our running game and our offensive line, we can win games off of that. That's why I say we definitely can make it to the playoffs because our division ain't that good, and I think that we have a decent enough team to make the playoffs. Once we get in the playoffs, that's a whole nother situation because you need
who
stars.
We play, probably. Who we play.
Yeah, it depends who you play, but you need stars. It just is what it is. You need somebody that can take over the game defensively, take over the game offensively, and I just don't know if we have that.
Well,
I hope we do.
If we make it to the playoffs, unless it's like one of the years, like, say we won 9 games, made it to the playoffs, that type of way, you know what I'm saying? But if we got like a double digit going into the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Like strong, we won like our last 4 games of the season, we would know who our stars is by then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If Rager was the star of freaking, everybody sleeping, thinking Devontae is going to be the sole star, but who knows? Rager, he got hurt early last year, he came back, got hurt again. They broke his thumb or something like that. Got his finger hurt again. And then, he came back again later on in the season. We didn't see too much of him, but how our coaches were last year, so who knows, man? By that time, I feel like we'll know what team we got. And I feel like if we hot going into the playoffs, we can win the Super Bowl.
Like, I hope so.
Remember the Giants?
Who knows? Yeah, I was just going to say the Giants.
They were like a team to beat. But the second Super Bowl they won, they wasn't even a team to beat. They were like struggling that season, I think, even. And then they made it to the playoffs, and then they had that magic with the Tyreek catch on the head.
Yeah, I'll say this: if we win a playoff game, Nick Sirianni is going to be my favorite coach of all time. I'm getting a Nick Sirianni jersey because I have low expectations for this team, and I would love to be wrong. It's just I'm nervous, and maybe I'm being a little bit too pessimistic, but I'm trying to be realistic.
I know, you making sure you don't get your heart broken.
Last year was rough, bro. Like last year, starting this podcast, like I was expecting us to be nasty. Like, if you go back and look at my first couple of videos, I was over here, why the Eagles are going to win Super Bowl. Why are we going to do this? These are going to be the top 5 players. Like, bruh, I was so depressed last year. Like, you can ask Brandon, man. Every week we would just look at each other like, all right, who do you think's going to win this game? And we would just look at each other like, I guess we're just gonna keep saying the Eagles until it happens, right? Like,
right? You got
it was just so depressing. So
we win
that it was tough. It was tough. But this year, I'm hoping they prove me wrong. I'm hoping and as closer that we get to the season, the more unrealistic I get. So like once week 1 comes around, I'm gonna be saying Eagles by 40 in every week. Yes. But right now I'm trying to stay conservative, trying to stay cautiously.
You don't want everybody thinking like you you guys are gonna be Super Bowl champs and we win the Super Bowl, baby. Until otherwise, prove me wrong. Until otherwise, then like week 6, you're gonna see me on here. This is the Birdgang Nation Sports Talk. We were Eagles and
this really sucks right now.
Yeah, it's sucking, but I feel like Jalen's gonna change the second half of the season and bring us to the playoffs. No, I know Jaden's gonna keep me happy, keep me pumped up, and keep me going for the team, baby. We're gonna go big this year. 12-5, playoff bound, and if we go in the playoffs hot, nobody can stop us. I said it.
If we get a top tier cornerback, I'll feel way more confident.
Howard,
because if we went out and got somebody like a Howard or a Stephen Gilmore or something like that, I'm not saying that we will. Or even a Steven Nelson will make me feel pretty confident, but not like crazy more confident. But if we went out there and really like addressed the cornerback 2 position, I'll be way more confident right now.
That's another thing. Before I know we both got another live to get to, but listen, what about that? We're doing those joint practices with the Patriots. We're gonna get a chance to look at N'Keal Harry up close and personal.
We don't need him. We do not need him.
You don't think so?
No, we don't.
You don't see him being better than any of our back. Our back 4.
The thing with him, I'd rather keep J-Jaw than take N'Keal Harry.
Really?
And the reason why, this is why. J-Jaw is our problem. J-Jaw, we bought that problem. You know what I'm saying? So if we're gonna fix an issue, fix our own issue. Don't take somebody else on. If Bill Belichick can't get the best out of you, I'm all right.
Last year, you gotta look at last year. The Patriots weren't even. They played the whole season with the B team. People opted out last year.
But N'Keal Harry's asking for a trade.
Come on.
N'Keal Harry is out here asking for a trade, and he's still on his rookie contract. Like, he didn't do anything. And he's really asking for a trade from the Patriots, who, yes, they weren't the greatest, but that means that you have a wide open shot to be a starter. So you should be, all right, let's get this.
But if Cam's a starter, do you think Cam's been good? Like I said, I don't think Cam's been good since he started being weird with his clothing and all that weird stuff.
No, but they have the rookie. They got Mac. They got
I think Mac is a perfect situation with them. I feel like he's the Brady 2.0 for Belichick.
I think he's trash. Personally, I've always thought he was trash, but I've said from the beginning, like, I was wrong about everything about my mock draft except for him. Like, I literally said, like, Mac Jones, the only place I can see him going is to the Patriots. That's the earliest I can see him going. That was the only thing I was right about this whole draft process, and I'm going to die with that. Very proud of that. But I think he's trash. I don't think he's that good.
Though. But you think about it. That is the only place he could have went to be successful. To Garoppolo, Brady, and everybody's like, Brady this. But remember when Brady got hurt and what's that Elvis Dubermill? Or no, what's that dude's name? He came in and he played that whole season for Brady. He threw like 5,000 yards passing that year. You know what I'm saying? They had 11-game winning streak. That's why I'm always like, Brady's good, but I think it's more Belichick. I'm more on the fence of more Belichick than Brady because, Brady did do good in that system, but that's the reason why, to me, Brady kept taking all them pay cuts because he knew if he went anywhere else, he wouldn't have a Hall of Fame career right now, and he definitely wouldn't have all them rings. So
yeah, I mean,
thanks.
It'll be interesting. What's good, Joe? It'll be interesting. I don't like either of them. Being from Connecticut, I'm originally from Connecticut, so I hate the Patriots. Like, I hate Brady. Yeah, I have like a burning loathe for the Patriots just in general. But I mean, Brady went out there and won a Super Bowl. You know, like that. I can't say Brady is
Terry
the best.
won
Brady
Super
is the
Bowls
best.
early.
Who?
And Joe Montana's the best quarterback. He never lost a Super Bowl. Brady's lost like 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, no, I'm still taking. I would take Brady. I would take Brady. Jerry Rice had. I mean, Joe Montana had Jerry Rice.
Joe won
Joe
his first
Montana had a
without
nasty
Jerry.
defense.
Remember?
Huh?
Joe won that first Super Bowl without Jerry Rice.
That's true. That's true.
He don't lose in
but
Super Bowl.
Name one wide receiver that this dude's won with outside of Julie Edelman. That's like the only guy he's had ever.
Troy Brown. He played both.
Troy Brown wasn't all that great. Troy Brown was not all that great.
He was.
You're thinking about no, it wasn't Troy Brown that did that.
Yeah.
It was another dude that did cornerback and receiver.
But he was a starting receiver, but he played defense. They put him on defense too. Troy Brown.
What was his name? No, it wasn't Troy Brown.
Are you sure?
I'm almost positive it wasn't Troy Brown. I have his I'm looking at him. Number
80, right?
Yeah, I'm like 95% sure it wasn't Troy Brown. I can't remember who it was.
I need you to Google that because I'm like 90% positive that was him. It's Troy Brown. He played both sides of the field. Not all the time, but he played the cornerback a lot of the time in special packages.
Oh, it was. You're right. Wow. Why am I? I'm slow.
I know, baby.
Who did I think it was?
Brain on. What football brain?
Who did I think it was? Who am I thinking of then? Was there more people that did it?
No, I think he was the only one that I remember.
I thought there was like a darker skinned dude. Let me see what this dude looked like.
And then what's his name? Amendola was doing good over there, and Amendola was a solid receiver for a while. You know, Welker. I think Welker did it too, a couple of times too. I think they actually threw Welker back there a couple of times.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot out of all their players. I mean, shout out to him. I wish we had. Damn, it was Troy Brown. Why did I think that it was somebody else?
Baby, I know my football.
I'm tweaking.
But Troy Brown, he did good too, man. And that defense back in those days with Vinatieri. Remember when Vinatieri won those 3 Super Bowls and he went to the Colts and won for them with that? Then he had the leg, man. Because if Tom Brady were those some long ass field goals Vinny had to kick. It wasn't like he was kicking some 30-yard, 20-yard. He had to kick like 50 yards. I think one was like 55. You know what I'm saying? Like those are some long field goals for the game. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Tom was like getting them super close. Like
exactly.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not diminishing the fact that he still got the rings. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's at the end of the day.
Because he was smart than all the other quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks want the top dollar, and he was smart enough to know if I don't take top dollar, I'm still paid. I'm paid regardless. And I can get more pieces on my team. And they just put it all on the defense back in the days.
That's the thing. Whenever they won, they had like a top 5 defense. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to put into it, but Tom Brady's Tom Brady. I could never sit here and talk junk about him just because I've seen that man
they had to
come back like crazy.
Super Bowl cast. I mean, a Pro Bowl.
They did. I will say, even before he got there, I knew that him going there made them a Super Bowl contender. I mean, and then you add on all the players they did. But I mean, he went to the right team. He was not stupid for going there. But it was Jameis. Jameis Winston was their biggest downfall.
All right, look at JC. Good streams, my guy.
Yes, sir. I'm just gonna live on this. I'm just gonna live on my computer tonight.
I know how it is. I'm back to back too, baby. We're gonna be bringing that fire because that's what we do. Yeah, I got you first. Yeah.